Your next project is going to be based on surrealism. Surrealism was an art movement that started in the early 1900s, about 1924, and lasted throughout that century. And one of the most famous surrealist artists is Salvador Dali. This painting you see here is called The Persistence of Memory, and it is probably the most well-known or famous surreal painting, and this was done by Salvador Dali. So if you've seen this before, it's something that you don't usually forget because you'll remember these kind of limp or melting clocks that you see here. You're going to be doing a project where you're going to create your own surreal design, and I'm going to show you a video that's going to explain surrealism more deeply so you'll get a better understanding of that. But I do want to point out a couple other things to you. And in the book Art and Design that I have up in the front of the room on pages 172 and 173, there is a lesson showing you how to melt the clock. Okay, so it is a Salvador Dali inspired lesson. So it will just explain to you how you're going to do that. And I will also have tutorials on this. But since this PDF document will be available to you in My Connect, and you can come up to the front of the room and borrow my book at any time. Okay, so let's look at the example that's up on the board. Okay, so this is just taking a bunch of images, putting them together into a composition that is surreal. Okay, surrealism is kind of, think of it as a dream-like or what's happening in, or things that happen or that come about in your subconscious. Okay, that is surrealism. So dreamlike, something in your subconscious. It might be a little bit creepy, scary. You get weird lighting effects like in this, and bright colors. Just interesting things going on. Things that may or may not exist, or just that exist but are shown in a different way, like with the clocks, or like the girl who has a hole through her stomach. That's not normal, okay? So when I set this up, I am going to allow you guys to set it up to whatever size that you want. But because I wanted a landscape, I wanted a nice wide landscape canvas, I went with 18 by 12 inches, which gave me that with a 300 ppi. So you may choose any printable size. Please use 300 ppi, okay? And you want to set it up in RGB color. All right, and that's how you're going to set it up to get started. So I'm going to end this tutorial today with the first half of the video I told you about that is all about surrealism. So you'll start getting an idea of what you might want to do. Okay, and then you can go ahead and set up your documents, set it up with your last name, your first name, surrealism. And on the next tutorial, I will start showing you how I created some of these effects. And also, you're going to see just the first half of that video today because it's too long to view in one tutorial. And then you'll get the second half of that video on your next tutorial.
Hi, my name's Tiffany.
And my name's Matt. Join us today as we take a look at Salvador Dali and the Surrealists and what made them tick.
Get surreal with Salvador Dali, next on Dali TV.
Matt, take a look at this painting. Seems kinda normal, right?
Yeah.
Now look at the entire painting. Weird, huh?
Yeah. Unreal.
You mean surreal. This painting by Salvador Dali is called The Weaning of Furniture Nutrition. Do you know why this painting is surreal?
Well, the woman sitting on the beach has an opening in her back and a crutch holding her up. It's like she's not a real person.
So the laws of nature are reversed. A living thing has become a lifeless object.
Right.
What else?
Those chests of drawers on the beach, they don't belong there.
That's juxtaposition, putting two different things side by side that don't normally go together.
Oh, got it. Two things side by side that don't normally go together. Like us.
Matt, what are you talking about? We're We're the perfect surreal team.
The surrealists love to surprise and shock the viewer. One of the favorite techniques of the surrealists was transformation, turning something familiar into something unusual and disturbing.
This is a sculpture by Murray Oppenheim called Object. It's a fur-covered cup, spoon, and saucer. Oppenheim transformed a regular household object into something strange by covering it with a different material. I mean, can you imagine taking a drink out of that?
Another favorite technique of the surrealists was dislocation. Objects are placed where they shouldn't be. This painting seems fairly normal, a table setting, but there's a human eyeball staring out at you. That's dislocation.
Strange.
Bizarre.
Dreamlike.
Fantastic. Surreal.
Yes, surreal.
Okay, Tiffany, take a look at this painting and get surreal with it.
A challenge. I love it.
This painting is called The Ghost of Vermeer of Delft, which can be used as a table. It was done by the most famous of the surrealists, Salvador Dali. So, Tiff, tell me why it's surreal.
Tiff? Please. Well, first of all, it is done in a very realistic style. It almost looks like a photograph. And the yellowish light in the sky makes it look like a storm is ready to happen. It kind of gives me a creepy feeling.
But those things don't make it surreal.
I know, I'm not done. Sheesh. Look at the man's leg. It's become a table leg. That's metamorphosis, when an object is changed into something else. So the realistic look of the painting, the strange lighting, and the metamorphosis of the man's leg all make this a surreal painting.
I'd hate to admit it, you're good.
Why do you hate to admit it? Don't hate me because I'm smart and beautiful.
Yeah, get real.
No, get surreal.